Well, the snow removal continues around the Kansas City metro. We spent a lot of time this week talking to Brian Platt, who is the Kansas City, Missouri city manager, obviously as the hub city in our region. They have been hard at work and trying to get as much done as they possibly can. The Overland Park mayor is Curt Skoog. He is here on 95.7 FM. And, anecdotally, we have been hearing quite a few complaints from Overland Park, so I wanted to bring on the mayor. He was kind enough to join us. Mayor, good morning. Thanks for being here. And what would you like to say to the folks of Overland Park and those passing through on how you feel like your snow removal has gone the last few days and what you guys have planned for the next few days?
Sure, Pete. Well, Happy New Year's, and thanks for reaching out to give this opportunity to give an update. First we want to start with a thank you to Overland Park residents, workers, and business owners for their support and patience. This has been a record snowfall. It's the 12th largest snowfall on record in the Kansas City metropolitan area. It's the 4th largest single-day snowfall in the metro history. And we started with 3 to 5 inches at 9:20 a.m. on Sunday. And by Sunday at 9 p.m., we were at 10 to 13 inches across Overland Park. It's a big snow. We haven't had this big of a snow in many years. And the Overland Park workforce of 60 trucks, 172 staff, and 7,000 staff hours, as well as 7 contract trucks and drivers, in 55 hours have cleared 2,015 lane miles, 2,021 cul-de-sacs, and 59 bridge decks of 10 to 12 inches of snow. It was a big snow, and I know it created a lot of inconvenience, and I want to thank our residents for those who were able to stay home and stay off the streets so that our teams could get out and clear the streets. There may be some residents out there that are still having some issues, so I really encourage them to go to the Overland Park website, which is opkansas.org. Up in the right-hand corner, you'll see a thing that says OP Cares. If you click on that link, it's a direct communication with our snow team. So if there's an area we've missed or someplace that is causing an issue, please go to that part of our website, type it in there. It goes straight to our snow crews, and they'll be right on it.
That's great to know. opkansas.org, and then click on the OP Cares tab in the top right of the homepage there. So
that's right.
We'll drive people there. Someone asked me to bring this up, and I thought it was kind of an interesting thing here. They said, Pete, could you ask the mayor if they changed their snow plan in the last couple of years? Because this person says that they used to have contractors do your 2,000 cul-de-sacs, and the city crews were focused on the streets, but it didn't look like that was going on this time around. Did that change, or was there just a different implementation of policy on this storm?
No, still the primary plows you'll see in cul-de-sacs will be our contractors because they have smaller vehicles than our city vehicles. And so if you live on one of our 2,000 cul-de-sacs, they come in all shapes and sizes. And those smaller trucks do best. What was interesting about this storm, Pete, is that the intensity of the snow over the course of the day. So people may have seen those contractors come in early and do a plow, and then through the drifting, because remember, we also had a blizzard with winds, it looked like that cul-de-sac hadn't been touched, even though it had already been plowed once. So we still use 7 contract trucks and drivers that hit most of those cul-de-sacs. Of course, sometimes we hit them depending on the situation, but we use a lot of contractors for cul-de-sacs.
Okay, so there hasn't been any changes on the budget for snow removal. All that's the same as it's been. Okay, gotcha.
No.
Okay, I was just making sure.
No, in fact, this year, with with the adjustments that we've made to pay to keep up with the market for our staff, this is the first year in multiple years that we're fully staffed with our snow crews. So we're really excited that we had 172 people, in the trucks. And what's interesting, people may not know that the people who drive those trucks are our public works team, right? Our park services team, our recreation services team, but also people from planning and other departments in the city that you wouldn't necessarily think would be sitting in the cab of a truck.
That's true.
Go ahead. The other thing that was interesting was with all those new hires, we had a lot of new drivers this year. So if you're like on my street, the plow driver took out some of the grass in some people's yards when they took a curve. So again, if you have had your yard damaged by the plows, go to that OP Cares as well and document that so we can get around and fix that when the snow melts as we move into spring.
So Mayor Curt Skoog is here on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. What is the thing I know, and we do know this was a historic snowstorm in the standpoint of how much snow it dumped in a short period of time, blizzard conditions, blowing snow. But as we start to get beyond it, what is something that you want to see the city do a better job? How could you implement things for a next snowstorm, whether it's this big or not quite as big? What are some things you want to see the city improve on next time around?
Well, every storm we learn lessons. We're a growing city, we're an expanding city, and so we learn lessons every time. We'll do a debrief after the storm to see how we can improve and make sure that we're meeting the expectations of our residents. One thing that I think we did a good job on, which I want to challenge you a little bit in your comments, I listened to your radio story yesterday, was about transparency. I think that we did a great job with communication this year. We had dedicated websites. We had 45 posts across all of our social media channels. We had 3 e-newsletters with updates, and we had 322 local media reports talking about Overland Park's response to this storm. So we continue to be focused on communicating to our residents because we know it is important for our residents to know when they should expect their part of town, their streets to be cleared so that they can get to work, so they can get their kids to school. And most importantly, that our first responders can get to any place in the city safely when needed.
Well, yeah, and just to be clear, I mean, the moment I reached out to you to come on, you willingly came on the show today. So it has not been any issue from the standpoint of, getting you on or making sure that, you're able to share the message with the people of Overland Park. So I maybe misconstrued a little bit there, but I'm giving you a lot of credit because you're here. The first time I reached out, you were more than happy to come on the show. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm always happy to come on your show, Pete. One thing that I received a lot of feedback on, I'm curious if you did, is, we started with an ice storm the first few hours of this event. And I received a lot of positive comments about how our police and fire responded and assisted people who were out and got caught up in the storm. I don't know if you saw the social media post of the semi truck that jackknifed on 435 in Overland Park. But we've made it through that whole part, as far as I can tell, without any serious injuries of city staff for sure, but in the community as well. Except for a lot of trips and falls.
Yeah, no, Saturday, you're right. Saturday was a mess. 69 highway, I know, was closed down. 435 was a disaster. And I would say overall, the feedback on that was definitely positive because that was a dangerous situation Saturday. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Mayor, thank you for being here, and we appreciate you guys. I know everyone's been working very hard and doing the best that they can, and we hope that folks who still have issues will go to the OP Cares, part of opkansas.org, and, I know the crews will be out working again today. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, yeah, we'll be doing a lot of cleanup for the next few days, so really encourage people to reach out, OP Cares at opkansas.org. Share any issues you're having, and we'll be on it. And Pete, thank you for your interest in Overland Park. Always appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you so much. That is Curt Skoog, the mayor of Overland Park on KCMO Talk Radio.